What is going on? I'm Zmot. It is Labor Day. We are going to do a teeny tiny bit of work on our day off, throwing code Zmot into that creator boost. Now, the main topic of this video is how to win in Season 65 of Warships. But before we get into that, I need your opinions here. What do you think about the Boom Pass? We've got the Uncle Sam villager cap. Plus, if we scroll over to the right-hand side, there is an equally United States themed Liberty skin. Now, the Liberty skin on its own is pretty darn rad, and I know that the Statue of Liberty was from France, and it is globally recognized and all that sort of stuff, but it's still a bit United Statesy. So do let me know if you are outside the United States what you think about that Boom Pass. Very, very curious to see if you'll be buying it because you love the idea of that very, very pretty skin, or if it's just not for you. So I am not from the United States. I am from the west coast of Canada. So this is my first Boom Tech Tree goodness that I'm gonna show you, and I got a little bit ahead of myself here. I have gone to 4 engine rooms. That is the 4th engine room I just unlocked, but I don't have a base for it yet. So this is gonna be a tech tree show and tell, and on this one, then I'll show you a different tech tree in a second. And this one does have warriors. And we don't have brick. We do have Cavon, and if you're going to go exclusively with warriors, you're probably going to want Cavon, and I'll show you why in a second. Also going through the troop health node. That node is going to be GBE on my other tech tree. We'll talk about that in a second, but troop health definitely helping here. And full mortars, full flamethrowers. I went for the flamethrower choice node simply because I am trying to beat warrior players. I can beat Gren players. I don't need to worry about time for them. And then I went up through the top path and got flare and troop damage down into the microwaver, into the green mines before going 4 engine rooms, and now just unlocked 4 engine rooms. So need to build a base, but with Cavon, it is all about that ice shield, and I'll show you why here in a second. Just such dirty bases. Green mines everywhere, mortars, microwaver back there, boom mines for this player, and we're still going through it. I don't think I've fizzled yet this season, but it's definitely coming as people get shock mines. So might have to go back for Grens. I've also heard of people using warriors and tanks. Now here is my number one issue on the season. Look where Cavon stands. He is so far away until our troops start to get damage, and then trying to catch up so we can use his crystal shield, and he's just not catching up. So the thing about this 3 engine room, there we go. Cavon dropping that crystal shield, keeping our troops alive. And I have seen a couple of you using second wind, but crystal shields, in my opinion, is working way better. So Cavon and the warriors just clearing all of the stuff, dumping all of the spare GBE into crystal shields, and you end up getting 3 of them, I think, in a battle, something in that neighborhood, and just clearing the bases. I started down in 11, managed to rank up to 13, so I need to play that account a little bit later on, but for now we're going to jump to a different tech tree, so hopefully that helps you. I went Cavon with warriors with the thought that Cavon is probably going to be my end of season hero with most different troop combos that are out there, so I figured I'd get him right away with warriors, and then I could change it up if I had to. Can always get some tokens into Grens. As you can see here, we've got 1.6 million tokens left over that we could throw into Grenadiers. We could always go to the left and get tanks if things got too dirty. I'd really prefer not to do that though. Next up, probably going to go get those machine guns, but that will be later on. For now, let's switch to a completely and utterly different tech tree. This is the tech tree that we are going to be working on, and it is very different, and I have to be super careful on this. It's going to be super lean. I am going to lose all of my battles until I get all the way to the end of my choices here. So what we're going to do, we are going to max our gunboat, And this tech tree is working very, very well at the moment. Whether or not I can pull it off, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. In the next day or so, this tech tree is also going to struggle. So I need to get all of this stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the smoke and mirrors. We are going for Scorchers here. We are going to go lean and mean and go all the way for Scorchers. And that is why we are going for that gunboat energy node. That gunboat energy node is going to be helpful for us dropping our Scorchers and going to give us a little bit of leeway. I'm also going to be doing it with brick with Scorchers. Now, here's the problem. This is something that I didn't touch on in my tech tree sneak peek, but in order to get into 4 engine rooms, you need to have 600 tech, and they have figured it out perfectly when designing this tree. So I am going to have to boost something. In order to get to Scorchers, we need to max not only our warriors, but also our grenadiers, because we are going full naked path through the middle. Now, whether or not this is ideal, I couldn't tell you, because I have yet to play it, but when I saw that Scorchers were working, I wanted a piece of it. So we are going to go this way. We are going to go right through the middle, through that negative node, and we are going to take the negative building damage. Don't care about building damage at the second, and then I am taking the flotsam, and as you can see here, we are short on tech. Need to get a bit more tech, and how I'm going to be doing that, unfortunately, is through Grens. So we're still short, as you can see there. Gonna get our landing craft up, still gonna be short. Now here's where the choice you want to make. You can go through Brick, who isn't all that expensive, or if you don't have a hero, you can also max your medics. So if you're trying your darndest to get Scorchers and you don't want Brick, then you're gonna have to max your medics. But we are gonna max Brick up. That is going to get us the tech required to get into that next engine room level, and we are getting into that engine room level with basically nothing. No green mines, no boom mines, no shock mines. Quick note, there are also players out there who are using Rifle Zuka. They're doing, I believe, a similar tech tree where they've come through this middle part, and they're using rifles and Zukas fully naked, probably with machine guns, I would guess. And they're apparently fizzling in a big way. So that is why I figured I would show you guys the Scorcher Tech Tree. And it's going to be a drag right about now, because one of the good thing is I'm going to get shock mines, but the bad thing is I am going to be the nakedest base around, with 5 chests to claim in a second here. So I am just going to throw this stuff out here. While we do so, I am going to hope that you guys are having a ridiculously fantastic weekend. In Canada, where I am, the kids go back to school tomorrow, only for an hour, which is somewhat ridiculous, but looking forward to that in a big way. I work from home, and I have worked from home for 15 years now. So every summer, and I haven't had kids for all those years, but every summer back to school is a good time of year. My wife's also a teacher, so my house gets very quiet here. There will be some more booming of beaches. As far as where we're putting things, I am just trying to make grenadiers be uncomfortable, and I don't even know what troops I'm going to use yet, because I have not planned this at all. We are just going to throw this stuff right here dead center in the middle, hoping for people without flares to be somewhat uncomfortable. Let's move you a little bit closer to here, so people go from here to here to here to here, maybe. I don't know. This is not part of the plan. And with Brick, depending on what base I'm going to either use Iron Will with warriors, or we can use battle orders with our good friends, the Grens. Like I said, I have not planned for this part of the tech tree. We're just going to get to Scorchers. That is goal number 1. So whether you're using tanks or Scorchers or Grenadiers or Warriors or some combination of all of them, there are lots and lots of goodnesses this season. That Flotsam, without having Cavon's ice shields scares me a lot, so I am going to chicken out a little bit. We are going to bring lots of Grens. We are going to bring, actually, I wonder if we could have used Brick's cluster grenade as well, just for a little bit of extra something, but like I said, this tech tree is not about Grenadiers. It is not about Warriors. We are just going ham, trying to get through to Scorchers. I can't stress that enough. In many, many seasons, the best path is one that you have to get to by losing a little bit. And every single season, I see a bunch of you that can't do it. There's too many pretty things close by, and you spend your tokens and then regret it later on. So if the option comes to you, spend a little bit of time, plan your tech tree a little bit, and I'm probably going to lose my first 8 battles, maybe even more than that, and that is my tech tree lesson for you this season, is lean into the losing, because the tech at the end of that rainbow or the end of that path is going to be the best possible option for you. And so I am going to fast forward through this a little bit. I will, after this battle, I'm going to do a bunch of battles on my own without you guys here, and then we'll come back as I get closer to Scorchers and see if I can collect all of my chests in iron or not. And this doesn't just apply to those of you who are starting in 13 or 12 or 11 or 10 or whatever the heck it is. If you're starting this season, that's your first Warship season. Maybe you started last season and you managed to start this season in rank 5 or something like that. Spend a little bit of time. Look ahead. Don't just unlock everything that's directly in front of you. You will regret it. You'll get higher if you spend a little bit of time picking a meta, watching the YouTubes, talking on Discord, Telegram, whatever the heck it is. Let's see what hobo Cyrillic characters had to do. They're bringing Scorchers. Hey, look at that. Scorchers and Warriors. Sorry, brain not working quite yet. And just clearing through all of the things, not having to worry about that flotsam because their warriors are oh so fast. And we have our first loss in the books. Something I didn't touch on. When you are trying to claim all of your chests in a certain level, make gosh darn sure that you don't fizzle. This might have set me back. This might mean that I have to claim a chest in a lower tier. So I was mixing and matching. I probably should be doing something like this. That way I can guarantee, even if I lose all my battles, I get every single possible engine room. Awkward strategizing how to lose better, but that is a minor part of my tech tree at the second. Another quick tip this season, if you are using that first tech tree with Warriors and Cavon, or even if you're using Grenadiers, if you see your opponent win quickly and you think you have no chance of winning, stick it out. People with tanks and or Scorchers and even Grenadiers are just force quitting because they don't have flares. So there's nothing to spend their GBE on. They're just force quitting. It's making their matches seem like they're faster than they are. So just stick with it, even if it feels like you're guaranteed to lose. Just don't ever retreat. You will get a couple wins when you think all hope has been lost. Okay, checking back in. I have gotten 5% stronger on the defensive front. Shock mines have been deployed. Tried to hide them a tiny bit just in case someone didn't scout fast enough. That just means we are that much closer to Scorchers, and we have lost all 5 of our first 5 battles. So tech tree working as intended. Awkward and uncomfortable, but that's what we're leaning into. Okay, so we've successfully done it. We have made it all the way to the end of those time chests, and we finally have the keys to unlock Scorchers. Now, those Scorchers are red, even though they're not supposed to be red because they're supposed to have the skin on them, but don't care about that. The fact is, finally have the tech where we can try to win. It has been ugly. We have 64-star Bush and a 64-star cushion. Let's get these things out. As you saw from our opponent a little bit ago, we might mix in some warriors. Let's just go. I am going to need to figure out this meta. Gonna need to backfill and get some troop damage and some green mines and all the rest of it, but the stage is set and now we can't find an opponent. So probably better off getting Cavon based on my early tests here, but we shall find out very, very soon here. Just a quick note, just because I'm probably going to lose this with Scorchers doesn't mean you shouldn't use Scorchers. It just means that I need to figure out this tech. We are going to use Brick with her battle orders. If we had flares, this would be faster, most definitely. So there's lots and lots and lots of things to worry about, but that is not the moment of what we're after. We're going to get battle orders running. I feel like right about now, the fact that we've got that battle orders going is somewhat helpful. But not entirely sure that GBE was the right choice here on that choice node. And now as we get through there, as that first Scorcher hits, we're going to get our battle orders going. Without flares, Brick and her different range means that you end up with troops going in multiple directions, which is less than ideal. We are not going to be as fast as I would like to be here. Not having flares means that I feel like my warrior account should be able to rank up faster than this Scorcher account. People are going to be able to clear me in like 3 minutes and a couple seconds, and now we are stuck watching our Scorchers burn the wrong things, and Brick standing back there as a dumb passenger in this entire process. So there are definitely people out there using Scorchers very, very well. But this tech tree was a difficult one to obtain. I think Supreme Overlord is someone on Telegram, I do believe. If so, good game to you. I need to build a base. I need to figure out how to use these Scorchers. So we talked about a bunch of things during this video, whether it be losing to get to the tech you want or making plans early on. Do know that if you're going to go Scorchers, if you've lasted this long in the video, scroll slightly to the right and boom cannons and cannons are there. That goes the same for tanks, of course, though. So, is Brick the right hero? Probably not long term. She will get us some wins early on. Cavon probably is the best choice for the longer term. Trying to give you all of the info. I could just tell you one tech tree and keep it super simple and dead, dumb, easy, but I feel like that would be less than ideal. We are going to go with all Scorchers. We're going to go 4 on this side. We're going to go with 4 on this side with Brick dropped last. That way, hopefully Brick doesn't die to a boom mine. But let's be honest, she probably will. Not having flares means we need to do things ever so slightly differently than we would do if we had flares, and this is where that GBE node starts to come in. When you're not mixing another troop in with Scorchers, this just means we're going to get this battle orders out sooner. We can get all of our Scorchers dropped, and you couldn't get all the Scorchers dropped without that GBE node. So, is it going to come in handy at times? Yes, definitely, but not always at the right times because Brick's GBE ability, just her standing so far back is so frustrating at times, but we're finally almost getting a decent time using all Scorchers. So 3 minutes 6, that's the fastest time I've gotten yet. Definitely not fast enough to win, but we're getting closer, figuring out our tech, and we're going to get another chest in 24 minutes, and I am leaning towards getting flares there because of the fact that we already have 13. We're not going to be able, or it's going to take us up to 31, I do believe, which is not enough to get flares and green mines or troop damage and flares. So probably going to be getting that flare first, just so that we don't have to sit here as a passenger. I feel like that would be the best use of our tech at the second. Speaking of the best use of our tech at the second, probably very much likely should be not playing right now just to make sure that I can claim that next chest in iron. But you guys are here, so we are going to do our darndest to keep these troops moving. We got a couple Scorchers going right, which is absolutely perfect. The rest of them are going to go with brick towards that left. Finally managed to do something worthwhile with these things. If you have lasted this far, please do consider subscribing. There is I have got a great video on deck for tomorrow and for the rest of this season. There is some very cool things afoot. I will bring you up to date with them tomorrow. But for the second, we just need these Scorchers to get a move on. We've got a decent split. Our Scorchers are going to hit all of those shock mines, though. Of course they are. I think the next phase of my tech at the second is to build a base. But until that time, do come back tomorrow as our Scorchers slowly but surely burn this thing to the ground. And by the way, I love this skin. This skin is a beautiful one. I like the brassish finish on the back of those things. I am going to park this thing for the second. I am going to pick up all my stuff. I'm going to find a base to build, and then maybe, you know what, machine guns might be the answer. I'm going to have to look and see what people are using against me. Green mines, I feel like the fact that I'm never going to fizzle and I'm always going to be around 3 minutes, flares are calling me, but I think I'm going to have to ignore that siren song and get either green mines or machine guns to slow people down. Not quite sure yet, so do come back tomorrow, but ignore my talk of troop damage or flares. That is just the wrong answer, because Scorchers don't need that. As you can, like, our times here, God, that's ugly. 247, 306, 247. So we can definitely compete, just need to slow people down a little bit. And we've definitely got the offensive prowess. So the strangest of tech tree guides today, showing you two different options, and one of them, it's difficult and it hurts, but it will work out in the end. So let me know what you're using, if you're using tanks or warriors or grenadiers or Zookas or rifles or Scorchers. So many options. I shall talk to you soon, though. Thanks for coming in. I'm Zmot. Peace.